Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be going over a Israeli tank iceberg, which is definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be I'm going to try to make it a mini series, but as we're finishing up the Panzer series, I'm going to try to do some like iceberg stuff, which just recently I've watched Wendigoon's like conspiracy theory iceberg, so I'm going to try to kind of model it after that. But I'll put a picture up of the iceberg right now, and I'll try to like reference it throughout the video, and like put it up pictures of what I'm talking about as I go. But yeah, all right, on to the first one. First up, we have the M51 Super Sherman. People call it. They can be identified by their big, you know, but it has a big old French 105 on it. It has like a giant barrel and a big muzzle brake on it, so it's pretty easy to tell which one it is if you were to have like a row of Shermans. Sorry, it's like another late night recording time. Yeah, but some of them were built on M4A1s, but I'm reading that it's only a few of those, and you don't see those in pictures too much. But the very vast majority of them were built on M43s, so that's interesting. They're in War Thunder are pretty fun. You know, they're at like 6.0 with like 400 millimeters of penetration. Kind of ridiculous, but interesting tank. Now the Merkava. This was Merkava actually means chariot in Hebrew. I read that off Wikipedia. But it's it's domestic Israeli main battle tank. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure about that. I don't know. I don't think I'm wrong. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, they first came into production and service. I hate that thing. I just had to sit here for a whole minute, like listening to that stupid thing. But yeah, the Merkava came into service in 1979, and it's used by the Philippine Army. I didn't know that. I'm gonna ask Minus about that one after I get done recording this. But yeah, I think they're fitted with 105s. As you can tell, I'm not doing much research before I talk about these. I'm just going off of Wikipedia articles. Oh no, they have 120s. Sorry about that. But yeah, they have active protection systems, and like the engine's situated in the front right, and the driver's front left, and it has like a really angled turret. It's a cool tank. It's very interesting looking too. Yes, lots of machine guns on top too. But yeah, I think next up we have the Magok 3. Pretty sure that was the M60. Okay, looking over the rest of the list, I don't think there's any other Magoks, so I'll just go over like a general idea of the Magoks. The tank on screen right now, it's like they're in War Thunder footage. That's a Magok 1. But Magok 3, or Magok, Hebrew for battering ram, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the Magok 3 was just the third, I guess, in the series of the Magoks. The Magoks were like American M48s and M60s that were put into Israeli service. Some of them were modified with like ERA. I think some of them got like different guns put on them, but I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me. But yeah, I think they were just taken out of service when the Merkava came in. Some of them get pretty ugly. I'm gonna put a picture of the Magok 7C up right now. It's really ugly, but yeah, it looks like they got up to Magok 7C. But they're interesting tanks. A lot of them are War Thunder. They kind of suck, just like most of the M60s and 48s. But interesting tanks. They're kind of generic, not gonna lie. That sounds really bad or mean, but I mean, they're not super interesting. They're just Israeli M48s and M60s. Up next is shot cows. They were Israeli Centurions, but they were pretty cool. Um, they have, I think they might still be in service. I'm pretty sure. At least I heard that in a book. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're one of the 5 Centurions that the British gave to Israel as second-hand tanks, and Israel modified it to meet their needs. Once again, it's just really a series of foreign tanks that were taken and put into production. I guess that's what most of Israel's tank history is. But I mean, these are just mostly Centurions. I think there's a few like all kitted up with explosive reactive armor. I'm not sure. If there is one and I find it, I'll put a picture up of it now. But other than that, there's not really too much to say about them. I don't want to drag it on too much because they're not super interesting. But, you know, Israeli Centurions. Next up is the M50s. I think they're just Sherman 76s that were put into Israeli service, but they could be Sherman 76s that had their 76 taken out and a French 75 put in from like an AMX 13. But it's like 12:09 right now, so I'm gonna go to bed and I'll get back to this tomorrow and like actually know more stuff about it. But yeah, I'll be back in the morning on the mic. Actually, probably not the morning, probably like tomorrow night. But yeah, I'll be back here. Alright, I'm back. It's the next day, and it's also 11 p.m. So I don't know why I choose such late times to record this, but I confirmed that the M50 is a Sherman with the angly front mantlet thing and a French 75 that was on the MX-13. Yes, I don't have the picture pulled up, so I'm going to need to do that. But on to the next one. We're now on level 2. This one's pretty interesting. The Storm Cromwells. Cromwells were like British. I guess they're like the equivalent of like Shermans, I guess, or like Panzer IVs or something like that if you want to compare them to something. But they're not bad tanks. They're not good. Kind of mediocre, like a lot of tanks in World War II. But yeah, stolen Cromwells. Or from what I found, what in the okay, that's quite an interesting ad. But yeah, there's on this like Times of Israel website, I found a article on like a British deserter who stole tanks for Hagen, yeah, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. But he like died a little bit ago. But yeah, he stole 2 Cromwells and like drove it to like early Israeli freedom fighters, I guess. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, on June 29th, 1948, the dude, alongside with his friend, broke into a military base near Hafia Airport and stole 2 Cromwells and drove them to Tel Aviv. Yes. Or Haganah. I'm probably butchering that. But, yeah, where Haganah operatives were waiting. Oh, I'd never heard about that, but also these, or at least the one dude was a World War II veteran. But I mean, that's interesting. I've never actually heard of it, but Google is a thing for a reason. All right, next up, there is uh, H-39s in Israeli service. H-39s were an upgrade from the H-35s, which were or both of them were pre-World War II French tanks. They weren't very good, seeing how Germany kind of, railed them. Their tanks kind of sucked, other than a B1. B1 is awesome. But, yeah, so, during, like early Israeli independence, like, their neighbors were pretty scary, like, Egypt and, their neighbors. Google Maps. Don't. I'm not very good at like any sort of. I'm not very good at countries, geography in the Middle East. Okay, Israel has like Jordan and Syria and Lebanon. I know Israel and Lebanon have been opting out a lot recently, but yeah, during like the Israeli War of Independence and stuff like that, the Haganah dudes, they didn't have too many guns, or I mean they had plenty of guns, I'm sure, but they didn't have like too much equipment like artillery and like tanks. And being entirely honest, if you're fighting a bunch of Syrian dudes with, bolt action rifles, and you have a tank, the tank is gonna win, if I'm being honest. So, some Israeli diplomat dudes were over in France, and they were like, getting them some stuff. They got some artillery. I'm sure they got them some guns, and 10 H-39s. So Israel used those H-39s. I don't know how effective they were. I would have hated to have been put into one of them, but like I said, tank is a tank, man. Okay, this one's interesting too. This is a the Pare. Wait, yeah, I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. But yeah, it's like a tank. It's a tank missile launching system, mounts on the Magok 5, that with a big turret that contains 12 spike missiles and pop-up missile launchers. But it has a dummy barrel to make it look just like a tank, and make the enemy think it's a tank. I don't really know why you would want them to think it's a tank. Maybe because if they have like a lighter gun. Well, I mean, it's still based on the Magok 5, so it's still gonna have armor. But it was also built. It was like built from 1980s to 2017. I don't know if it was built, but it was in service at least then. But I think I've actually heard of these things, but I never knew that they were called the Perret. I'm also probably pronouncing that one wrong too, but I'm doing my best. But yeah. Next up is the Wormlach. I don't know how to pronounce that either. I'm terrible at pronouncing foreign names, but it's what, like the German army. H-39s, which I know that Germany used quite a few French capture tanks with like anti-partisan duties in like Yugoslavia and Poland. This Polish Warsaw uprising. Captured a few things like I think a few French tanks, but next we're gonna. I mean, I can't find anything on Google about that. If I do figure it out before the end of I finish filming the video, I'll pop it in at the end. But if I can't figure it out, I guess I'll just try and figure it out over or between this video and the next one. So I'll just move on to the next one. It's almost the end of the video. We're on the last one. Okay, pause it now. But next up is R-35s in Israeli service. So the H-35s in Israeli service, it seems to be that on the 20th of May 1948, these in the Israeli War for Independence, I think it's called. Yeah. But there was these dudes defending this place called Kibbutz. Oops. There's these dudes defending this place called Kibbutz. I don't know. Kubutz. Yes, that sounds much better than what I said the first time. But yeah, there's these dudes defending that place with a 20mm anti-tank gun and some Molotovs, and Syria had some R-35s that they had that they got from the French post-World War II, and with that 20mm anti-tank gun and some Molotovs, they were able to knock out 3 R-35s. And that also caused everyone else to retreat because I guess 3 of their crappy tanks got killed. Or not killed, but knocked out. One of the disabled R-35s remains near Kubitz. I pronounced that wrong, I know that. But, yeah, it stays there. And it's a memorial for the war, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this is on Wikipedia. I couldn't really find anything about Israel using them in their army, but, they could have, but I can't find anything on it, so, So I figured out the, Wormelot, I'm not even gonna pronounce that, you know what I mean. But I figured out the, German H-35s in Israeli service. 3 of 4 of the 10 H-35s that Israel got from France when he made that one certain joke. But yeah, those were ex-German from World War II. But I guess there's one last surviving example of those 3 to 4. If I can find a picture of it, I'll do it, or I'll put it up right now. But this is also the end of the video. This was a pretty fun video to make. This iceberg is pretty big, and it's gonna probably need multiple videos. It does need multiple videos, obviously, seeing how I didn't get through everything today, and it's still 18 minutes long. I'm gonna try to make the next one shorter, because these are definitely gonna take a little bit longer to explain, but it should be, yeah. I'm gonna probably try to edit pictures into this video tonight and post it tomorrow morning. So, yes. But thanks for watching, guys. The YouTube channel's been doing pretty good. I haven't checked on the tiger video in a bit, but I'm sure it's doing pretty well. But yeah, subscribe, join the Discord in the link in the description, and goodbye.